Hi crafters, in this video I invite you to keep the holiday spirit alive by creating a high-end Santa card or decoration. You can totally adjust the format and size to make it exactly how you like it. For this project you will need pink, yellow, mustard, light blue, black, green and red paper, plus one sheet of red felt, white glittery foam and white paper. We are going to start by tracing Santa's face on pink paper. I simply draw a pear-like shape, then cut it out. Next, I place this shape on the white glittery foam and trace the beard around it. I cut the beard shape and then I cut out the middle part so it can nicely hug Santa's chin. Once that's done, I glue the beard onto the face. Then, I take another piece of the same white glittery foam and place it on top of Santa's head to trace the white border of his hat. You can absolutely use another texture here, like fake fur, but I didn't have any, so I used the same material as the beard. After gluing this border on Santa's forehead, I move on to the hat. I place my Santa face assembly onto a piece of red felt, trace the hat shape, cut it out, and put it aside for later. Now for the body. I take another piece of red felt and trace Santa's body under the head. It's a bit hard to see in the video because my camera blurred, but I basically draw a trapezoid shape with rounded edges just under the head. This represents Santa's shoulders and arms joined by his belly. Then I draw a second trapezoid shape slightly smaller under the belly to create the bottom of his coat. I cut out these two shapes separately, even though they will be aligned because I want to slightly overlap the top piece over the bottom one. On the top trapezoid, I also make a small slit to simulate Santa's right arm. Next, I cut a white glittery foam strip shaped like a cloud with wavy edges all around. I glue this piece at the end of the arm to represent the furry sleeve. Then I cut out a red felt glove and glue it under the slit arm. Now, I take a piece of white cardstock, which will be my background. I start assembling everything on it. First the hat, then Santa's head over the hat, and finally I slide the torso under the head to complete the body. I then cut another wavy white glittery foam strip to mimic the furry seams of Santa's coat, and I glue it under his arms. I also cut a small wavy ball and glue it at the tip of Santa's hat. For the face details, I cut two slim white rectangles with rounded edges to make the eyebrows, and I glue them just under the hat. I cut a pink circle for the nose. Then I create a moustache in white glittery foam and glue it under the nose. I add two black paper circles for the eyes. Next, I cut a slightly curved black paper strip and glue it under Santa's arms and over the white glittery foam to create his belt. On this belt, I glue a rectangle open on one side shaped like a boxy letter U to represent the belt buckle. At this point, Santa is finished, but I want to add something extra, a snow globe for a magical winter touch. For that, I use a piece of clear blister plastic from a toy box. I trace a rounded shape with a marker. I need two of these shapes, so I fold the plastic and cut them both at the same time. Between these two plastic pieces, I'm going to trap a tiny winter scene with a house in the snow. I start with the snow by cutting a white glittery foam strip. On top of it, I glue a piece of blue paper shaped like a half circle matching the bottom of the plastic blister. From yellow paper, I cut the front of the house. Using mustard paper, I trace and cut the shadowed side of the house. I cut the roof as a trapezoid in red paper. Then I cut two thin strips and glue them on each side of the roof's inner slope to add more contrast. Next, I make a small door in mustard paper and two rectangular windows. I also cut a chimney in yellow paper and glue it on top of the roof. With a brown marker, I outline the window and the door. I cut two trees in light blue paper and two trees in green paper, and I glue them around the house inside the snow globe. With the same brown marker, I draw shadows under the tree branches. I cut out tiny white circles and glue them all around the scene to mimic falling snow. Once everything is in place, I glue the second piece of blister plastic on top to seal the snow globe. For the base of the globe, I take a piece of brown cardboard with visible corrugation. I cut it into a half circle and glue it at the bottom of the blister. Then, I go back to Santa. I cut a thick U-shaped piece in pink paper to create the bottom lip and I glue it under the moustache. I place the snow globe between Santa's hands. To hold it properly, I create a second glove that hugs the globe. To finish the snow globe, I cut a curved light blue strip that matches the circumference of the plastic circle. This represents the reflection on the glass. I add a few thin white curved strips on top to enhance that reflection and glue everything along the contour of the globe. Using the brown marker, I add shadows to parts of the snow globe base for a more realistic look. With the white marker, I add reflections in Santa's eyes and enhance the reflections on the snow globe even more. And voila, our Santa is finished. I think it looks really cute and very Christmassy. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this project, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more cardboard and paper craft videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Happy crafting!